and taxpayer-funded NGOs, or what I prefer to call para-governmental organisations, such as the European Public Health Alliance, Action on Smoking Health, Smoke-Free Partnership, yada 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 yada. We all know them, and they all know us. These people came together via an invitation that was possibly mistakenly pinged out to the entire Parliament, but in other ways people did know. But via, we believe, an Irish MEP by the name of Gawain Towler, who rather beautifully in July, at a conference that I attended with a couple of others, said that I am a libertarian. I believe in personal freedom, except in the case of tobacco. Which shows you that she's a real, true believer. However, you'll be pleased to know she's retiring this year. It seems that Avril informed Ash Ireland. Oh, by the way, her conference was sponsored by Novartis and Pfizer.
No.
Sorry, got the word wrong. In association with Novartis and Pfizer. Hello. So, basically, the website, the TICAP website and the organisation was online, people were becoming aware of what was going on. Now here I have to hold up my hand with a bit of a mea culpa. We did check with a lawyer about the wording of the page that has caused the problem on the website, the sponsorship page. Rather delightfully, the only sponsor that this conference succeeded in getting financially, apart from individual donations and things of that sort, was a quit smoking clinic in America called The only money we got for the entire conference was for an organisation trying to, well, it's good marketing, isn't it? You're all smokers. So it makes sense for them to support us. Anyhow, they gave us, I think, $1,000?
Yeah.
$1,000. Well, you can imagine how much Pfizer and organisations like that give their support. However, there was this page. We checked with the lawyer. The lawyer reckoned that the wording was okay vis-à-vis the parliamentary rules. Obviously, in the light of what happened next, and well, I'll explain. But basically, this woman, Florence Bertarelli-Kemp from the European Smoke-Free Partnership, and she's also heads up the European Public Health Alliance here in Brussels, sent a lobbying letter to the President of the Parliament, Mr. Hans-Gert Pottering, well known for his liberal views, the Bureau of the Parliament, which is made up of every group in the Parliament, all the presidents of the parliamentary committees, and the questors, who are sort of shop stewards. The one group that isn't involved in the Bureau, you will not be surprised to know, is the one that is co-hosting this, or hosting this event. We have asked time and time again, but no, we are too irrelevant, too small, and we're not allowed to be on the governing board of the Parliament. So, these letters were sent, and we know that the letter was written on the 18th of December, because I checked the properties. And they were sent, they will have been received and checked on around about the 5th, 6th, when people came back from their breaks of January. On the 12th of January, and I've got it here, and people can look at it because I can disappear off afterwards, we have the Bureau agenda for the Bureau of Parliament in Strasbourg on the 12th. And here it has absolutely no mention whatsoever of the TICAP and Indem conference. Oh, they misnamed it, of course. One, it was a, we've got, again, documentary evidence. They claimed it was an entirely tobacco industry-funded conference, supported conference. They neglected to mention that it was being hosted by Mr. Bloom here, as an MEP. He's allowed to do that in the group room of the Parliament. And after that, the Bureau had its meeting, and everything was peace and quiet. I went actually a couple of days after the Bureau meeting to somebody who had been at that Bureau meeting and asked him if anything had happened with this lobbying letter that claimed that, I've got it here I think, that claimed that the Parliament, the conference was beneath the dignity of the Parliament. Controversial. Goes against all of Parliament's adopted reports and the European Community legislation and commitments in public. So, if the European Parliament decides that black is white, one cannot stand up in the Parliament to say, no, 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 black is black, because that is the decision, the pre-decision of the Parliament, and you cannot anymore oppose it in public, which is rather an astonishing thought for a so-called democratic institution. At that point, I asked the chap who'd been there, no, 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 it's fine. In fact, he was quite pleased. He works for the Questors, and they also had to discuss it, and he thought that they'd pushed the discussion about whether to ban the conference to the February meeting, which was quite a nice idea. The chairman of the Questors is a pipe smoker, you might note. However, on the... that was the 12th. On the last Wednesday, we first got inklings that something was up. The reason we got inklings that something was up is because the same woman who had written the lobbying letter to have us stopped was starting to send emails around to her supporters saying, yee, we've had it banned. I've got links from the Bureau. So I checked. No sign of anything. I looked at the documents of the meeting, because we do get a pack of documents. No documentary aspects at all in the Bureau documentation that's on the table when they go into the meeting. So this is getting very funny. We managed to get a leak that, sure enough, option 12 on the agenda, on the summary of decisions, Type conference to be banned for the above reasons, the same reasons that were given in the lobbying letter. Dignity goes against the points of view of the Parliament previously, and the sponsorship, which there is a rule about sponsorship, and as I say, mea culpa, there was some mistake in the way that the TICAP website had posited that, and that is my fault. However, it was another 2 days, so last Thursday was when Mr. Bloom finally received a letter from the Bureau saying that the conference was not to be allowed to be held in the Parliament building itself. Now, you must understand that they made the decision on the 12th, and it was the 22nd before any formal notice had been passed on to the organisers. At all. What is even better, normally we find out about these things if there's a problem because the room is cancelled. And we get a message from the admin saying the room is cancelled, the coffee service is cancelled, the translators are cancelled. Yesterday, the translators were still getting in touch with us saying, do you have speaking notes for tomorrow's conference? The entire procedure by which the Parliament operated has been extremely dodgy. There was another example. I've been in touch with the Ombudsman, the European Ombudsman's office, and they think we've got a very good case for at least getting the funding back that we've had.
I have a question, can I ask?
Yes, go on.
It's a very short question. Since the decision was made on camera, is there a way that someone can access the tape? To see what the discussion was?
When we make our formal complaint, with the whole facts and figures behind it and all the rest of it, it is possible we will be able to get back from the Bureau who proposed it. We don't yet know which member of the Bureau proposed. We've got suspicions, but we're not 100% sure. But when it comes to the debate, when we go to the Ombudsman and all the rest of it, it will come out.
But through the Freedom of Information Act, I don't know how you call it here.
Sorry.